Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make an official Discord server or a gaming Discord server. Either one works for this, so let's get right into the video. Let's go. So I haven't made one of these videos in a while, and I'm pretty sure when I did the last video of one of these tutorials that I made was actually my first ever Discord video. If you want to check that out, it will be in the description down below. It's probably going to be cringy though, so be careful. So first thing you want to go ahead and do is go down to add a server. Now once you're here, you can choose from a template. There's a bunch of different templates here. I'm going to show you actually two of these here. Now you can either do it from a template, you can do it from the gaming template right here, and then you can press for a club or community. You can just go ahead and name it whatever you want, like test server, and then you press create down here at the bottom. And now once you create that, it'll go ahead and create your server with a few default channels and voice channels. So here we have general, we have clips and highlights, lobby, gaming, and then you can also build upon that if you wanted to. We're not going to be using this for the video. For this video, we're going to be doing everything right from scratch. So right from the very beginning, this is very beginner friendly. If you want to create the Discord server of your dreams or just want to get started with Discord, we're going to go ahead and we're going to create my own server, and we're going to do this for a club or community. And now we can just go ahead and name it whatever we want. For this, I'm just gonna go to a Discord naming the server. I just went to a Discord name generator. As you can see, it's powered by AI, obviously. I just typed in gaming, see what would come up, and we're just gonna choose one of these. Now, for this video, I'm going to be choosing a very interesting one here. I'm going to be choosing the Tech Nerds. So, and if you're a Discord nerd like me, then go ahead and use this site if you would like to. Link will be down in the description, by the way. So now we can just go ahead and paste that in here. And then we can also upload a photo. So if we go to our web browser of our choice and open a new tab, and let's just go gaming, we'll make it a gaming controller. How about that? This can be really any image. Make sure it's not copyrighted though. Like if it's like another logo from a different Discord server or a custom made image from somewhere else, make sure you're using your own unique image. So for this one, we're just gonna go with this one right here. I'm pretty sure this is this one has more than likely is in use. If you really want a unique image, or if you want me to make a video on how to make a unique image, please leave it down and please leave a comment down below and I will make it. So yeah, we're going to be using this one. We're just going to save it to our desktop. Then you want to go ahead and press this plus button and find your image in your files and go ahead and place it in there. Now, once you have your logo, you have your name, you can go ahead and press this little create button down here at the bottom. And after you do that, it will create a blank server and we can go ahead and start creating our entire Discord server. So first thing I am going to go ahead and do is I'm actually going to delete all of these channels and categories as well. After that's done, it should look a little something like this, and this should be empty. Now, after that's done, we can go ahead and we're gonna create a category and a few channels here to start off with. So let's go ahead and we're gonna create a category. Just right click and then press create category. This is gonna be our information channel. So you can go ahead and name this whatever you like. I'm just gonna go to this site right here. This link will also be down in the description down below. We're just gonna find some symbols that will go along with our information kind of thing. So if you want kind of something aesthetic, we're just going to copy and paste this one. Now back on Discord, we can go ahead and paste it in here where it says text. Go ahead and replace that with your text. So we're just going to name it info. How about that? And now go ahead and press create category. After you have done that, it'll create a nice little category for you that you can place channels inside. So to go ahead and place channels inside of these categories, all you have to do is hover over the category, and where it has this plus icon, go ahead and click on that. And then this is where you can insert channels. So we're gonna create a few default channels to start out with. Again, if you wanted to, you can use that one site for symbols inside of these channels. Just be careful of spaces because it will place a dash in for the spaces. So now we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna create a welcome channel, and we're also gonna automate a lot of this with some bots as well. And then press create channel. We're gonna create create a rules channel, because every server, I suggest having a rules channel, and every server should have this in their server. We're going to create that. And now once you create these 2 channels inside of your server, don't do anything else right now. First, this is very important. So you want to go ahead and right click on your server name. And then when it brings up this drop down menu, you want to go ahead and click server settings. Now, once you do that, it should look something like this. You want to go ahead and press enable community. Once you do that, press get started. Go ahead and click both of these on. And depending on how safe you want your Discord server, you can either click this on or off. They have to have a verified email in order to use your server, pretty much. Now click next. And now once you get this, it should come up with this page. All you have to do is press I agree and understand. And now press finish setup. Once you do that, your community thing is now set up. Now you could have a server description and you can input it in here. So just like a server for epic gamers. And then once you do that, make sure you're always saving your changes within the settings. So go ahead and press that. Once you're done with that, go ahead and press welcome screen. So this is where we can create a nice welcoming screen for new users when they join. Go ahead and press set up welcome screen. And then it should bring up something like this. You want to go ahead and select a channel, because the users will be able to click on these channels when this thing pops up in the beginning when they just join your server. So we can go ahead and like click on welcome. What do people do in this channel? So you can just say anything about this channel. So like welcome new users to the server. And then you can also pick an emoji. So like insert the wave emoji. So just like that. And then if we press save, we can save it. We're going to go ahead and we're going to add one more. Okay, so I just figured out at the time of recording this video, you can't actually enable the welcome screen anymore. Servers that have already enabled it in the past will still have it. They must have disabled it for some reason. I guess they're making some changes to it. I would always just check this just in case, depending on when you're watching this video, just in case they have enabled it. You will be able to add more and more channels if you would like to. And when you preview it, I can show you exactly what this looks like. If I go to my server, my server, I have a whole bunch of different screens enabled. So I have a rules, welcome, and then I have all these different other things. Once you have enabled the community inside of your server, apparently they updated the community as well. So it automatically creates a rules channel with a little book icon next to it. So what we can go ahead and do is delete this rules channel that we have just made. And then we can take this rules channel and place it inside the info. And now when it says this, I press keep current permissions because it doesn't matter. We're going to change that later on anyway. To reorder your channels, you just click and hold on it and then drag it wherever you want it. So we're going to have the welcome first and then the rules. And then for this moderator only, that's also going to have another special category for it. In order to do that, we just create a new category. So right click and create category. And then we're going to name this staff because we only want the staff to be able to see this. And then after you do that, press private category because it's a private category only seen to not very many users. And then press next. And then you can select roles that you want to have this seen by. We're just going to press skip for now. And then you can take that moderator only and go ahead and drag it inside the staff. Now, once you do this, go ahead and press sync permissions because we're also going to, it doesn't matter, we're going to be changing it. Now, after you do that, as you can see, our categories are not correctly the same. So if we go ahead and go into right click on this category name and edit category, we can go ahead and copy this and we can go ahead and paste it inside of this. So there we go. And then we can go ahead and change the text of it. So staff and save, make sure you're always saving your changes and then you can go ahead and exit out. And now as you can see, our category stuff are the same. Another thing you can do is you can go ahead and edit one of these channels, just hover over it and the edit thing is right here. And then we can go ahead and add emojis in here if we wanted to. So we can add the wave emoji inside of here and then press save changes. And as you can see, the wave emoji is now in there. So now that we have all of this stuff, we're going to create a bunch more channels and categories. So we're going to create another category and we're just going to name this, verify because we want to have a verification system just to prove that because there are a lot of scammers and bots on Discord. So we can go ahead and create a verify. And then inside that, we're also just going to create a text channel called verify. Also, upon having community enabled, you also get access to these other 3 options. members. We're gonna go more into depth on that later, and then we can go ahead and create this channel. But first, before I do create, I'm gonna add an emoji to it. If you're wondering how I am adding these emojis on Windows, I'm not sure what it is on Mac, but on Windows, it's just the Windows key and then period. So we can go ahead and add that check mark inside there and press create channel. And there we go. Now we have a verify channel. We're also gonna add chats. Inside of chats, we're gonna add a main chat. We're gonna add inside the chats. You can also add like gaming clips. You can add gaming clips inside of there. Let's see, what else can we add? We can add an asks to play channel. We can add more later. That's all we're gonna add for right now. Next, we're gonna create another category. We're gonna name it this. We're gonna name this entertainment. Inside that one, we're gonna create a media channel for like other videos or funny videos of like pets or something like that. Maybe, I don't know, whatever you want to. We can also add maybe a bots channel for bots. I know some servers like to do this, so we can add like a counting channel, maybe a memes channel. And yeah, that's what we're gonna add for right now for the entertainment. The next category is gonna be roles, and we're just gonna go ahead and place the roles right under the chats category. And inside the roles category, we're gonna say ping roles. We're also gonna say reaction roles. The next category is gonna be voice chats. That's gonna go under entertainment, and inside there, make sure to click on voice, this option right here, and then we're gonna name this we're just gonna name it lobby. We're gonna create another one, and we're gonna name it gaming. We're gonna create another one, we're gonna name it music. We're gonna create another one, we're gonna name it duo, and then you can add a trio in there if you want to. For duo, you want to go to edit channel. You want to take go down to where it says user limit, and you want to take this, you want to drag it to where it says 2 users, because it's duo and duo is 2. Then you want to save changes, and now only 2 people can join this channel. In the staff category, we're gonna create more staff channels. We're gonna create staff chat. We're gonna create staff commands. We can go ahead and press this announcement one, and we can say staff announcements, and that's all we're gonna add for staff. Also, now in info, we're gonna add something in info, another one in info. We're gonna go down to another announcements, and we're gonna name this. You can get as creative as you want with this, so you can say like news for if you want to, or you can say announcements, or just whatever you want to do. I'm just going to name mine announcements. Just keep it simple. And then I'm going to go ahead and style the other categories. There we go. Now, I don't want to make this video too long, so this is all we're going to have in our server right now. So now, what you want to go ahead and do is go right-click on your server name, go to server setting. On the agenda is we're going to make some roles here. So go ahead to where it says roles, and now you have this nice little page. First thing we're going to create is a owner role. This is another place where you can get as creative as you would like to. So like for an owner role, you could just straight up say owner. That's the one thing you can do. You say the ultimate gamer, and that's actually what we're going to keep it at. So, and then you can choose a color for this role. Now you can go to a custom color and just have any color that you would like. So like we can just like make it a light blue. You can, if you have your server boosted it multiple times, you can choose an image for this role, but if you don't have your server boosted, you won't have access to this. Since this is a plain server, we can't do this option. Here's a preview of what it's going to look like. This display roles separately as members. Let me go ahead and show you guys what this does. So if I press save changes, and then we can go ahead and get out of this, and then go ahead and press add and give yourself the role. And see that there you go. Now you have the role. As you can see, it says online. Now if you go ahead and turn that option on, as you can see, it now says the ultimate gamer, and it'll every time you turn that on for a role, it'll always categorize it depending on where that role is positioned in the role list. So there we go. We have our owner role. Let's go ahead and let's say assistant gamer maybe, and we can make that something like purple, and then we can go ahead and press this display role members separately from online members. Now we can add permissions for this assistant gamer. I'm gonna have it act as the head moderator role. So for the head moderator role, you usually have to really trust them in order to give them this role. So I'm just gonna go ahead and check everything on. Now just remember, you don't want to give them this role unless you absolutely trust them. Now once you get to this bottom portion, whatever you do not click this bottom one on. This is bad for your server. You should never have this on. So go ahead and press save changes. The next role we are going to add is a regular moderator role. We're gonna name this one like Epic Gamer. I don't know, something like that. And we're gonna like make it red, and then display members role. And then for permissions, this one's gonna be a bit different. So they shouldn't have the same permissions as the head mod. So we're gonna click on view channels. Yes. Manage channels. Yes. Manage roles. We're gonna actually leave that to be off. Manage emojis and stickers. Also, leave that one off. View audit log, you can go ahead and click that one on. View server insights, go ahead and click that on. Manage webhooks, we can also click that on. Manage server, please leave this one off. You do not want this one on. Where it says membership permissions, go ahead and click every single one of those on. You will see this in some servers. Some servers do not allow you to ban members for moderators. I don't know why, because moderators should have the ability to take any action if necessary, which I don't know why some servers have that off, but they just do. And then text channels, you can go ahead and also click every single one of these on. Voice channel permissions, you can also go ahead and click every single one of those on. Request to speak, you can also go ahead and click that on. Manage events, this one is totally up to you depending on if you want moderators to be able to manage your events or not. I prefer this off for moderators. Some people do like it on just because they like for full availability for moderators. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and press save changes. The next one is we're gonna create is a trainee moderator role. This is like a role you can give to new moderators just to see how they do as a moderator, just like a test moderator. We can say gamer in training. We can go ahead and make this like let's make it like a green color. How about that? And then go ahead and display it. And then for permissions, this is also gonna have a bit lower of check stuff. So go ahead, view channels, yes. Manage channels, leave manage channels off. Manage roles, also leave that one off. Manage emojis, leave that one off. View audit log, go ahead and click that one on. View server insights, go ahead and also click that one on. Manage webhooks, you can also click this one on. Leave manage server off, definitely don't want that one. Create invite, click that on. Change nickname, they can change their own nickname. Manage nicknames, they can change anybody's nickname. So I usually have that on because usually nicknames don't really matter too much. Kick members, go ahead and check that one on. Ban members, leave this one off. This is important. Leave ban members always for trainee moderators, but leave that one off. Timeout members, you can go ahead and check that one on. Send messages, go ahead and check that one on. Go ahead and check everything up until where it says mention at everyone at here in all roles. Once you get up to that point, do not click this one on because we don't want them to be able to spam mention like at everyone, for example. Manage messages, we want them to be able to delete messages if possible, just to see how well they do and what they think is viable. Manage threads, that's totally up to you if you want them to manage threads or not. Go ahead and click that on. Read message history, we want that on. Sends text to speech messages, up to you as well. Usually that don't matter. Use application commands, we want them to be able to have that on as well. Send voice messages, you can also have that, turn that on as well. Now for voice permissions, we want to turn everything on up until where it says priority speaker. So go ahead and do that. Once you do that, please leave priority speaker off. And then when you get to here, go ahead and press deafen members on. That's the only one out of these three that you want on. And then request to speak, we can also have that on. Manage events, leave the last two off. And now we can go ahead and create other roles like member role. Like when they first join the server, they will get a member role, aka this will also be the verified role that they will get when they verify themselves. We're gonna name this straight up gamers, and then we're gonna display separately. And then permissions, you can go ahead and leave permissions exactly the same. So now for the members role, you can go ahead and add a color to this if you want to. I usually just leave it as a plain gray. And then the next thing we're gonna add is a bots role, because we're gonna have bots in our server. We need to be able to categorize them. So we're just gonna name it bots. You can change the color as well. I usually just keep this gray as well. And then we're gonna display member from offline members. So this will categorize the bots. Now go ahead and create a separate role for the bots. This one's going to be called bot permissions. And now that you have bot permissions, instead of clicking, do not click this one right here, go ahead and go to permissions. And basically what we're doing here is we're making sure we still have our crown. We're making sure we still have this server owner crown. Because if we don't do this step, then we will lose this crown. I just think it's kind of cool. So now back in the settings for this role, we want to go to permissions. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. And this is where you want to click on the administrator. Because mostly honestly, every single bot that you come across is, I would just check the bot's description just in case. You always want to have bots have the correct permission. So go ahead and press save changes. Now, once you have saved your changes, this is all the roles that we are going to incorporate just for right now. There will be more, trust me. There's actually going to be a lot more. And then we're going to go ahead and exit out of this for right now. All right, so it has been a few days since I last recorded. I spent my time on editing. So this is what we left off with last. So we got some of the roles, we got some channels and categories. Now we got to do permissions. Go up to this info category, right click and press edit category. Then go to permissions. And now here's where you're going to do permissions for your channels and categories. So for this one, it's going to be what it looks like for everyone. So for everyone, we're going to set these two view channels to be off because we want them to verify themselves first. And then we're going to go up to where it says roles and /members. We're going to press this plus icon right here. And then we're going to add in the gamers role. This is also going to be the verify role, as we said before. Go ahead and press view channels to be yes. All three of these to be no. Create invite to be yes. We're going to press X all the way up until manage threads. And then when you get to read message history, go ahead and check that on. Send text to speech messages off. And then we're also going to set all the three of these off. For these ones, you don't have to worry about these because we won't even have any voice channels inside of the info. And then we might have some stage channels. Go ahead and press request to speak to be on. Go ahead and press these two off. Then we're going to add in the assistant gamer. This is our head moderator role. And for this one, we're going to click everything on. And then after you have done that, you can go ahead and press save changes. And then that's all of the permissions that we are going to have for the info category. And now go ahead and press edit on one of these info channels and let's just see if they have sync. Okay, yeah, they're as you can see up top, they are synced. So now all three of these have the same exact permissions. Okay, I just realized that the rules, we did it earlier, but the rules have different permissions. So what you want to go ahead and do is for everyone, you want to go ahead and press this view channel right here. Go and click that on because we want them to see the rules no matter what. And we're going to create the rules where we only want to be the ones updating the rules if necessary. We are not going to sync it and we're not going to give head mod all the permissions for this one. So go ahead and press save changes. For this announcement category, we're just going to press sync. And then once we sync the permissions, it'll give the same permissions as the category. Now for verify, we can go ahead and press edit category. Or since there's only one channel in here, I would say just editing the category though, in case you add more in here. I don't think you will, but still, you can go ahead and edit the channel permissions. We're going to edit the category. This time, since we want them to see the channel first when they join in order to verify themselves, because this is the verify channel, we want to set everyone to view channels to be on. We want to click send messages off, read message history to be on, and then you can turn this one on if you would like. It doesn't really matter, depending on if you're going to have stage channels in there or whatever. And then after you're done, press save changes. Let's just show you and have a quick overview. So if we go into our server settings and go to roles, and then let's go to our member/verified role, and we're gonna press these three dots up here, and we're gonna press view server as role just to make sure everything is working correctly. So once we do that, as you can see, we do not have permissions to send messages in welcome. We do not have permissions to send messages in rules, and we do not have permissions to send messages in the announcements, but we can follow. As well as the verified channel, we do not have permissions to send messages in there. Okay, so I just figured out that we can create threads. It's one of the many perks of testing it. Let's go ahead and we're going to fix that. So edit channel, permissions, down where it says create public and private threads, we're going to check those to be off and then press save changes. Also go ahead and go down to where it says use application commands and press that off as well. Okay, so now that we have all that, so for chats, we're going to set view channels for everyone to be off, because they have to be verified in order to see the chats. And then we're going to go ahead and add in the assistant gamer. We're going to press check on everything. We want them to be able to do everything in here. Press the plus button again. Press gamer in training. We're going to press view channels to be yes. We're going to press all three of these to be off. Create invite, yes. We're going to click on these three. We're going to click on the next three. We're going to click on these three, and then when we get to mention permission, Go ahead and click that off. Manage messages. Go ahead and click that on. Manage threads. Go ahead and click that off. Read message history on. Send text to speech on. Use application commands on. Use send voice messages on. And now for the voice channel permissions, we can go ahead and leave all of those off. And then when you get to stage permissions, you might have stages in here. I don't know. Depends on what you're going to be doing. Go ahead and press request to speak on. Leave this one as X. And then event permissions, create events to be off. Manage events to be off. So we're going to go ahead and add in the Epic Gamer, because that is the moderator role. We're going to press view channels to be on, manage channels to be on, manage permissions to be off, manage webhooks also to be off, create invite, yes. And then we can turn everything in the text channel permissions on up until where it says mention at everyone. When you get to this one, press that off. Then go ahead and press the rest for text channel permissions to be on. Now scroll down to stage channel permissions and press on request to speak and create events. We're going to press both of these off. We're only going to have head moderator and the owner be able to create the events. Now we're going to press this plus button again and we're going to add in gamers. We're going to press that to be on. And then these are just basic permissions for members. So we're going to press send messages to be on and we're going to click on all of these, and there is a way you can make leveling rewards to where you would get these embed links as a prize for reaching a certain level. If you'd like me to make another video on that, I will. Just leave it down in the comments. And then when you get to here, press this one off, as always. Manage messages off, manage threads off, read message history on, send text to speech on, use application commands off, send voice messages on. Then we can go ahead and leave all of these off because we're not going to be dealing with voice chats in here. Request to speak on, and then these two off. Save changes. And after you save changes, you can go ahead and get out of the chat category. And then go ahead and right click on roles, edit category, permissions. Go ahead and click everyone to be off and then click this plus icon. We're going to add assistant gamer. We're going to click on every single thing. Click the plus icon again. We're going to add Epic Gamer. And for this one, we're going to have the basic permissions for them as well. So send messages to be off, view channels on, create invite on, click the threads off, read message history on, create events off and off, as well as these off and on. And then gamer in training, also the default ones. So view channels to be yes, create invite yes, send messages no. Click all three of these off, read message history on, then manage events off and off, mention off and on for request to speak. And then for the member roles, the gamers, basic permissions as well for these. Once you're all done with these, you can go ahead and press save changes. There, now we're done with the roles. Now right click on entertainment, go to edit category, go to permissions and click view channels for everyone to be off. Now we're going to add the assistant gamer. We're going to click on everything. We're going to add in the Epic Gamer. Do this. We're basically just going to do the same thing we did for chats almost. Hang on. So we're going to do view channels, yes. Manage channels, no. Actually, we're going to click on manage channels, create invite, yes. Send messages, yes. Send messages in threads, yes. Create public threads, yes. Create private threads, yes. Embed links, yes. Attach files, yes. Add reactions, yes. And we're just going to click on everything up to mention this one. So click that no. Manage messages, we're going to click that to be yes. Manage threads, yes. Read message history, yes. And then we're going to click the rest on. And then we don't have to worry about the voice channel permissions. So if we scroll down, request to speak, we're going to click that on, and create and manage events, we're going to click those off. And then we're going to add in the gamer in training. So yes, and then all three of these off. Create invite, yes. Then we're going to click on everything up to mention. When you get to this one, click that off. Manage messages, yes. And we're going to click on the rest actually. And then we don't have to worry about voice. Click these two off and request to speak on. And now gamers, view channels, and then the rest off. Create invite, yes. Send messages, yes. Send messages in threads, yes. Create public threads. We're going to click that to be off. Create private threads, we're going to click that to be on. Embed links, and then we're going to click on all the way up until the mention, and then click that off. Manage messages, no. And we're going to click on read message history, yes. And then we're going to click on the rest of these. At the bottom, we can click these off, request to speak, yes, and that should be it for the entertainment. Now, when we do the voice chats category, this is voice chats, we're still gonna click off for everyone, but these are gonna be a little different. So we're gonna add in the assistant gamer, and we don't have to mess with any of these chat thingies. So scroll down to where it says voice channel permissions and go ahead for the head moderator role. Go ahead and click that everything on. And then for stage channel, we can go ahead and request to speak, and we can actually click all of these on. And that's all we have to do. Also, make sure you click view channels on as well and click on create invite. Now for the Epic Gamer, this one is going to be the exact same thing as the head moderator. So we're just going to click everything on for here, and it should just look something like this. And make sure you click view channels on. Gamer in training, this one's going to be a little different. Okay, so view channels on, create invite on, then go down to voice chats, then connect, yes, speak, yes, video, yes, use activities, yes, use soundboard, yes, use external sounds, yes, use voice activity, yes, priority speaker, yes, mute members, yes, deafen members, yes, move members, turn this off. We don't want that on. So it's just like slight changes, I guess. Now go ahead and add in the members role. View channels, yes. Create invite, yes. And now voice channel permissions. We're going to click all 4 of these first ones on. We're going to click use soundboard also to be on. Use external sounds to be on. Use voice activities to be on. Priority speaker, we're going to turn this one off. And then we're going to turn the rest of these permissions off. And then do the same thing down here like we always do, just like so. Then click save changes. And now we are done with voice chat permissions. Now for staff permissions. This one is going to be a lot different. Okay, as you can see, view channels for everyone is already off, so we don't have to even worry about that. Assistant gamer. For assistant gamer for the staff, we want this to be a bit different. So view channels to be yes, click all 3 of these to be off, and then we're going to click on all of these all the way up until mention. When you get to mention, press that off. Manage messages, we're going to press that to be on, and then we're going to press on the rest of these. For voice channel permissions, in case you want to add staff chat channels, we can go ahead and we can click all of these on, and we can actually go ahead and click all of these on. And then request to speak, mention, no, and then we're going to click these manage events for this category to be off. Now we're going to add in the moderator role. We're going to click, for this one, we're going to set these to just be the default ones as we would for the members and other channels. So all 3 of these off, create invite, yes, then click everything on until you get to the mention. Click the mention off, manage messages off, manage threads off, read message history, yes, and then click the rest on. For this one, same thing here. We click all 4 of these on. Use soundboard, we can also click those on. Use voice activity on, priority speaker to be off, and then we can click the rest of these off. Request to speak on, and then these 2 off. Now for the gamer in training, these are default as well. So just do the same thing you did with the Epic Gamer role. Once you have done that, go ahead and press save changes, and we can go ahead and get out of that. And there you go. That's how you do permissions. And that's going to be it for the video, guys. And there will be a part 2 on this video. This is just part 1. Like and subscribe to the channel if you guys did find this helpful. And yes, I will see you guys next time. Peace out.